clean cycle. So I'm not going to use any detergent today. Instead, I'm going to, and I'm going to keep the inner drum in there. Instead, I'm going to use some of that. Second. I'll just put that there for now. Okay. Okay, and it's on steam, so I'm going to put in that steamy hot water too. Because hot water will get it to really get clean. So yeah, you'll most likely see a lot of steaming on the lid and on the sides because, yeah, we're doing a steam cycle today and that's self-clean. I will try, oh, ow, hot water. I will try to give you as much as much of a view as possible, so. Oh. I better unfog that. So since it's a drum clean cycle, we're going to just start it right away. There we go. So drum clean is a cycle that would typically fill to the top. So, yeah. We're gonna be filling to the top today. So that's not sensing as to the top yet. Like, you can actually feel the heat from outside. So, since it's up to the top now, I'm going to just kind of put my fluffy cotton coat hoodie thing in front of here, just because it's leaking out of the lid now. Okay, that should be the last of the leaks for now. Or maybe not. Oh, come on. Man, it just won't stop leaking through that lid. And I believe it's going to soak for about like 10 minutes after that, since it's a self-clean cycle. And probably fill to the top again. Like, if I just put my hand, like, touch the outside of it with my hand, it just feels like somewhere around what warm temperature would be like inside of it. But like, really, in the washer, the water is like really hot. So yeah, that's a one direction wash cycle, as well as the test cycle. I believe I already did a stream of the test cycle, but I might do another test cycle stream one day, depending on how many test cycles there are. I've only done one, so yeah. Yeah, I think that one I did was called One Direction Wash. Yeah, it is just about impossible to see the inside now, so I'm going to turn on the light, see if that does anything. Okay, well, you could see some of that water in there. So yeah, self-clean does include the inner drum itself, so yeah. Or maybe it soaks for like 5 minutes. Or it probably depends on what it's thinking. So yeah, the reason for it going in one direction on self-clean is because it like just wants to keep the inner drum in place so it doesn't just float off the agitator, because it usually does that if I try to run it on both directions. So yeah, while full of water and having the inner drum in there. Yeah. Let me see. On my end, it's easier to see the inner drum when the light is on. I don't know if you could see it, but oh yeah, you probably can, because I can see it through my camera. So yeah, I think I'll just leave the light. I think I'll just leave the light on for the rest of it. And maybe just have it angled on sides like that. Like the way you would have a camera angled on a front loader. Oh my god, it is still leaking through that lid. The other day when it did a filtration rinse, it actually came through the handle. Like, just through here. It actually, the water and suds came through here the other day. Like, I don't know how it even did that. It just won't stop leaking through the lid. Come on. Like, hang on, see if it leaks again. Yep, I could feel it coming on. It's gonna leak again, I can tell. Yep, I knew it. Even from the lid, I could still feel the heat. Like, that water in there is just hot. Like, really, really hot. Okay, you can kind of see it through there, probably. Yeah, can you see it from there? Can you see the water coming through the inner drum and stuff? I don't know if you could see it in there, but it's going like wild in there. Oh wait, hang on. Maybe I can get you an angle through. No, I thought I could. Oh wait. There we go. I think we can see some of that now. Yeah, that's the self-cleaning process. It looks like it's doing like a SuperWash or something. There we go, now I think we can see it better. The washing action. Or at least for a while. So I believe it's going to soak for about 10 minutes before it goes on to drain. So I believe we can open the lid now. And yep, water's still hot. Probably just not as hot as it was before. Yeah. And that's not even the max fill line. Like, how does it even overflow like that when it's not at the max fill line? Like, look, I'll show you. I'll turn on the light. Right here, that is under the max fill line. Okay, so yeah, it'll probably be one of the longest soak cycles it'll have ever done. Yeah, self-clean does a lot of soaking, as it appears. It does a lot of soaking. That's to like really get the whole thing clean. It's fun making wavy patterns while it soaks. But yeah. "10 minutes of soaking, that's gotta be good." I believe that should get the whole thing cleaned out. Yeah, and I'm most likely going to be doing one of these every once a month, so... like how I did on Christmas Day when I first got it, I'm doing it again today. Because it's usually recommended that a drum clean cycle, that a self-clean cycle is done 12 times a year, which is once a month. So, yeah. Got about 6 minutes left of soaking before it starts draining. What surprises me, though, is how most of these cycles are actually just, like, not even an hour, like, under an hour. Yeah, right now the overall timer says about... says about 17... something, probably says 17 or like 17 to 20 minutes. That's the range right now. I believe it's probably gonna go back into spin once it starts draining, probably. But we have reduced that steaminess on the lid, so that's good. We've reduced some of that steaminess on the lid, so not really a lot of steam anymore now. Hey. So yeah. Hey. Oh hey, Chloe. You actually missed the agitation part. Or, I don't know if you were watching, but... I don't know if you were watching earlier. But if you weren't, then you missed the agitation part, because it's actually soaking now. Like, it's soaking to, like, clean out, to, like, give the whole thing a rest and just clean out the whole thing. Oh, looks like it's filling again. I'm guessing it's probably gonna fill up to the, max fill line right there. Okay. So, let's see. Oh. Just found that in there. See if the water's still hot. Yep, sure enough. Water's still hot. Oh. The inner drum is just floating again. Hate when it does that when it's full. And again, it doesn't have the locking system on it. It doesn't have the inner drum locking system. So yeah. But if I do that, the hot water feeling immediately comes back. But wait, did it just stay down there? Like for real? I guess it did. I guess it's turning it counterclockwise that makes it turn loose. Right, because lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, I get it now. I have nothing to rinse under. Especially when I got fur in there, because I'm using the drain hose on the fill faucet. I'm going to call it the fill faucet from now on. Yeah, I'm calling it the fill faucet because it's what fills the washer. So, FF, fill faucet. Is it just me or is the time going slower now? Because it feels like a minute ago that it just said 34:15. There we go. Like a whole minute. Although it's about to be a whole minute now. Yeah. Very long soak on there. Very long soak on there. Almost as long as the agitation, just 5 minutes shorter. So altogether it's really like 25 minutes of the washing. I believe it's going to start draining now. But let's see. Yep, sure enough, it's draining now. Yep, I knew it. I knew it would go spinning right when it started draining. spinning in there. I don't know if you can, but like, it is spinning in there. Seems like a little bit louder when it's empty than when it's full, which I don't get that. Is it supposed to be louder when it's empty? Okay, it says the rinse is gonna start soon. And it still does cold rinses on there. Even on a steam cycle like self-clean, the one it's doing right now. You could hear the water coming in. Now that the cold water is coming in, it should start cutting down the fog very soon. And we're starting to get in some cold water there. So yeah, from that angle you can probably see that more water is starting to come in. Like you can just like kind of see it in the background now. Oh, I think it started cutting down the fog. Yeah, it looks like it did. Now the water is circulating through the inner drum. It is doing one of those filtration rinses, so yeah. Yeah, by default it has filtration rinse on for self-clean. I don't think there's a way to turn that off on self-clean. Same for steam though. Now the water started getting cold now. Or the water diffusing cold water now, so the heat from the outside is gone now. I'm gonna put my fluffy cotton coat hoodie in front of there just in case. Just in case it leaks during the filtration rinse. But yeah, you can see it's circulating through the inner drum now. The water. The cold water in that. And it did start leaking again. Right here you can see the inner drum more easy. And the water current. Okay, so it has stopped once again. But we'll see. Yep, draining again. And now continuing to spin while it's draining. So that's going to be the final spin. The rinse cycle does a shorter soak before it starts draining. Looks like it's 30 times shorter than the soak on the wash, cause yeah. I guess it's only the wash that needs a soak before the drain. Okay, so now that is finished on that. I believe it probably got it clean or something. I think it did. I hope it did. But either way, that was really good. Getting to see all that action. Really cool. So yeah, that ended up in a 50-minute cycle. So yeah. So check out more of my videos on there. I do have a lot more.